Oh. Hey guys, Harry here, and I'm just here to talk to you about something. For starters, I'd like to thank you all for crossing 150, 170 subs. Last video I did mentioning it was when I crossed 100, and that was under a month ago. Now, I'm really proud of my growth, but I have something a bit more important to talk about, and that is a specific term that I really, really don't like. For those who do not know, this term is stan. Now, does anybody know what a stan is? I will tell you. Now, the common definition that you'll find people who are a part of the quote scene and things of the like will often tell you it means super fan or something along those lines. Perhaps you'll just say, oh, stan means stan. It means that you're just a great fan of somebody. That's not what it means. No, it's not. Now, for those who do actually know what the word actually means, it is originated from Eminem's song of the same name from the year 2000, and it means, quite literally, stalker fan. Now, the origin of this is pretty simple. Once again, I mentioned it's from a song, a very, very famous song by Eminem. One of his bigger hits in most other countries besides the US, and even then it was still a huge hit here. Got multiple Grammy nominations. It was on his, second or first biggest record. I can't remember. But point is, it is one of his most famous songs. It's often regarded as his greatest. The song chronicles the ordeal of a fan who is so obsessed with Eminem that he goes to lengths such as, meeting outside of concerts and yelling at him and using his brother, his younger brother, as sort of a way to get him to sign things for him. It's very, very scary, and it was actually based on a few sort of real stories for Eminem. But the point is that in the end, the fan quite legitimately, he beats up his pregnant girlfriend who, quote, doesn't understand his situation and drives off a bridge with her tied in the back seat. It's really dark, like most of Eminem's early work. And sorry, I'm just going to stand up a bit. But it's very, very depressing stuff. It's not a happy song by any standards. Now, the, common definition of stan largely comes from the fact that over time it's become more associated with the more devoted fan bases, and, that's often associated with the, quote, scene, like I mentioned earlier. And I don't know who started it, probably, somebody like Crank That Frank or something, I don't know. But it's become a term that's really, really just senseless and used so much. There are things like stan accounts and Tumblr stan pages, things like that. People who say, oh, I stan them so hard. Please stop saying that. Stop. Oh, God. It drives me insane. Okay? Because these people are using a word without knowing what it actually means based on common definition. While you might say, oh, well, if people call it that, then that's what it must mean, right? Usually that would be the case, but people who understand and originated the word do understand that it literally means stalker fan. And if you look into the origin of it all, like people who use a word like stan should, considering it's commonly just a name. But then, just to clarify, the name of the stalker fan in the Eminem song is Stan. The point is that it's not a happy song, and it's not a happy word. People should stop using it as such. Excuse me. It's, I'm all for repurposing words surrounding social justice, but this isn't an important word. We don't need it. You can just say, I'm a huge fan. Or, oh my God, I'm totally obsessed with them, which still isn't that great of a thing to say, but regardless, you might be. A stan is, by definition, like those crazy Justin Bieber fans you see attacking him in crowds and things like that, okay? A stan is somebody who not only knows every lyric to a song by an artist, but has them taped to his wall in paper, and maybe has a tattoo of one. That, or multiple, probably, because, one tattoo of a lyric is fine, but two, fuck that, nah. The point is that it's a dangerous thing, the term stan, and what it means, really. And it really bothers me to see it being perpetuated as this benign term, because it isn't. And the reason that I'm talking about this is because the other day I got a comment, and no shame to the person who commented this, is fine, it was just simple misunderstanding. This person said, oh my God, is that a 21 Pilots shirt? This is my cover for the Fall Out Boy song that I just did. I replied, yes, it is, because I was wearing a 21 Pilots shirt in that video. However, She just went, "Oh my god, I stan you so much right now, not gonna lie." I'm just like, "Please don't say that. That's kind of weird, you know?" And she goes, "Oh, lol, it means super fan." And I go, "No, it means stalker fan." She's like, "No, it doesn't." And I'm just go, "Look it up, please." And she goes, "Oh my god, wait, you're right, it means crazy and obsessive." And then she replies with, like, "Oh, well, nobody knew that until now." And that bothers me, because people should know that, and people do know it. Just not the people who are using the term, which is kind of bothersome, because these people are just blindly following what their weird overlords say. I'm not sure who those overlords are, but the point is that they exist in this case. Somebody's telling these kids that this is what that means. It's not. Sorry, I'm doing that weird thing with my mouth. Anyway, the point is, just stop. Don't. Look into words you use before you say things, you know? Like, you could argue that gay means happy. Gay does mean happy. You can say you're totally gay still, you know, and that's not a multiple use, and it's been somewhat repurposed, which is fair. I think that's fair. But that was for the purposes of, you know, associating a term to an undescribable emotion. There are ways to describe, or not emotion, but I don't know how to describe it. The point is that there are ways to describe what a stan is, you know? You could just replace the word that you're using with, "Oh, I love them so much," or "I'm an obsessive fan." You know, "I'm a huge fan of them." Say things like that. That's fine. You don't need the extra, like, 5 characters on Twitter that you save, okay? It's not necessary. You don't need to do it. Stop saying you stan people. That's not a fucking thing. Like, oh god, it drives me insane. I'm going over in circles, but what gets me is people then say, and have the balls to say, "That's not what it means. You're wrong. It didn't come from that song." So, what do we agree on what a word is defined by? Let's just say the dictionary, right? Because that's where we usually get our meanings. I'm going to bring up the Oxford Dictionary page here. There is a page for this term in an Oxford Dictionary, by the way. Stan, noun, informal, as would be expected, it's slang. An overzealous or obsessive fan of a particular celebrity. He has millions of stans who are obsessed with him and call him a rap god. That's an example sentence, right? Okay. Now, I'd argue that the example sentence is misused, but the definition displays a clear, statement. Now, the origin of this word, by the Oxford Dictionary, by the way, is listed as early 21st century, an allusion to the 2000 song Stan by the American rapper Eminem, about an obsessed fan. Now, if you actually look into the song, like I said, you will find that the lyrics are not so nice by any standard. They're very, very, very dark. It's a depressing and very real song, because there are people who are actually like this. And this is the other issue. There are people who are like this, and using that term both decreases awareness surrounding them, because they're dangerous to both themselves and others, and people just don't know what to refer them as. They'll just call them crazy and things like that. That's not the term you should be using. This is a term that we should use to describe that specifically. And, we've now just, it means nothing. And that's just completely silly. Like the opening lyric is, "Dear Slim, I wrote you, but still ain't calling." Okay, we later find out that, sorry, let me read that again. "Dear Slim, I wrote you, but still ain't calling." That's fair. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, you think it sounds fine. Then you realize that later on, he sent that letter 6 months ago and it got lost. That's reasonable. "I left my cell, my pager, and my home phone at the bottom." Okay, so he's now left 3 different ways of contacting him. "I sent 2 letters back in autumn. You must not have got them." There probably was a problem at the post office or something. There wasn't for those 2. He just hadn't got to it. This man's like speeding up. Anyway, he then goes on to explain that he's going to name his daughter after Bonnie from the song Bonnie Clyde 97 Bonnie and Clyde, which is also by Eminem. That's what it's a reference to. It was on his previous album, I believe, prior to Stan. Then, of course, you have the chorus, which is actually just a direct sample from a Dido song? Dido? I don't know how it's pronounced. Thank you. Great song. But next, he just goes, "I ain't mad. I just think it's fucked up you don't answer fans. It's been like 6 months. He then says that his little brother was so sad he didn't get an autograph. The brother's 6. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just using him as an excuse. It just gets darker from here. He yells at his girlfriend, calls her a bitch, says that she's jealous because he's obsessed with her and talks about him 24/7. It's very, very disturbing, and we need to be able to refer to people like this with this term, so we can actually not necessarily single out, but understand what these people are going through. It's probably a disorder of some kind, frankly. I'm not sure what it is, but there's probably something to this that people don't notice, because there are real people like this who get very obsessed with, singular people. There's being obsessive, and then there's this. This is very dangerous. Anyway, I'm going to stop the video now, but let me just make this clear. Give you the cliff notes. 1. Stop using the word stan to describe being a huge fan of a band or person. Stop. Please. It's just ignorant. 2nd, and once again, no hate to the person who did that. Obviously, you didn't know, that's okay. But if you know, or even if you don't know, please look into it, okay? Don't use a word before you know what it means. Look it up. Don't just follow somebody say, oh, well, it's funny. I remember when I was in 2nd grade, some kid told me fuck meant oh. It means that something's not good. It's like, well, you're a bit off there, kid. So I walked up to my parents and I said, I learned a new word today. Fuck. And then I got basically put into timeout and told, hey, where the fuck did you learn that word? And I was like, you just said it. Well, too bad. I'm an adult. That's what they said. And that's reasonable. That's okay. But now you guys, most people using this word are probably ages 11 to 17, 18, 19, 20. You're old enough to know what words mean. Okay? Please use the word that you know the meaning of in this case. So say you are a super fan. Don't say stan. Stop. 3rd, finally, using this word detracts from what a stan actually is, and that is a bad thing, because these people need to be understood and recognized before they can harm others, harm themselves, just do anything negative, because obsession can drive people to do crazy things, especially when it's over a single person. It's not a good thing. Okay? That's all. Anyway, yeah, so just please. Oh, God, it drives me insane. Anyway, this is my rant. I'm going to have a Q&A coming out. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the BS rant. That's all. Uncut. Love y'all. All right, bye. Enjoy.